Minho, I thought you were a professor. So what exactly is that tattoo on your back?
Next time, use the front door. Glass is expensive.
Minho, I thought you were a professor. So what exactly is that tattoo on your back?
A heavy vibration fills the air. Through the steam and cascading water, a silhouette emerges. Water droplets trace a slow path down his firm shoulders, gradually revealing the massive phoenix hidden beneath. Sharp, dangerous. Nia Adeyemi, a fashion designer from Lagos who took a wrong turn after a double shift. She pushed open the wrong door and saw something she can never unsee.
The moment you saw that, your quiet little life ended. You're my accomplice now.
His voice is low, cold enough to freeze the hallway. But Nia doesn't flinch. She looks him straight in the eye.
I don't think so. I'm going to make sure the world knows exactly what kind of monster you are. Move.
Then, the window shattered. 3 shadows burst through the jagged glass. In the pitch black, Minho's hands find a necktie and a heavy textbook. A brief, eerie silence follows.
Next time, use the front door. Glass is expensive.
Lights on. 3 men lie on the floor. Not a drop of blood. Nia stands frozen, watching the man she thought she knew.
Is this man even human?
When Minho came back after handling the situation, Nia was still standing exactly where he'd left her. Folders clutched to her chest. Feet planted.
You didn't run.
My legs stopped working.
The corner of Minho's mouth moved. Just barely. Not quite a smile, but something in that neighborhood. He went back into the bathroom, came out in a buttoned shirt, all the way to the collar. Of course.
Sit down. We need to talk.
August rain was coming through the broken window. Kang Minho and Nia Adeyemi. Girl, this was only the beginning.
Come to the family banquet with me tomorrow night. Play the role of my fiancé. In exchange you get full approval rights on the design project you've been chasing for 3 years.
He sat on the sofa like nothing had happened, shirt buttoned to the throat. Like he hadn't just taken out 3 men with a necktie 20 minutes ago. Nia sat across from him on the very edge of the chair, still holding those folders.
A fake fiancé?
One night. Banquet ends. We're done.
And those men? The ones who just came through the window?
I'll handle it.
He said that so easily, like he knows exactly how heavy those words are.
Nia studied his face. Cold. Precise. But his eyes, there was something there. Too deep for exhaustion. Too quiet for anger. Nia was the kind of woman who noticed things like that. Minho stood and walked to the back of the study. He pressed a panel behind the bookshelf. A small door opened. A safe. And from inside that safe, he lifted out a Polonia wood box.
Try it on.
The lid came off, and Nia's breath caught in her throat. A handbag deep green and gold, the silk catching the light like it was alive. Her hand moved before she could stop it. Fingertips touched the fabric, then stopped.
Is this a bribe?
It's a down payment.
What's the difference?
A bribe you can refuse. A down payment you take it when the terms work.
Nia looked at that handbook for a long time. 3 years of chasing that project. Every month of rent she'd scraped together alone in Seoul. All of it sitting right there on top of that silk.
Just one night. One night is all this is.
That's when the footsteps came. Heavy. Unhurried. Nia turned, and at the end of the hallway stood a woman. Madame Kang Minho, 62. The real power in this house. White gloves. One hand on the railing. Eyes moving over Nia like she was taking inventory. Cold didn't cover it. There was no temperature in that gaze at all.
Minho. Who is this?
No question mark. That was a statement wearing a question's clothes.
My fiancé.
Madame Kang's eyes traveled to Nia. Slow. Bottom to top. Nia held that gaze. Did not look away.
Wearing the clothes doesn't make you one of us.
With respect, I was taught that a hanbok isn't just a garment, it holds what's in your heart. My sincerity is more transparent than my skin color, ma'am.
Madame Kang's eyebrow moved. Just a fraction. In this house, nobody held her stare. Not like that. Not ever. Once Madame Kang was gone, Minho turned back to Nia.
Well done.
Was that a compliment?
A confirmation. Needed to know if you could hold your ground.
The moment that banquet ends, I want the project approval immediately.
One more condition.
Of course there is.
Stay tonight. If I send you out now, they'll come back for you.
Nia looked at the broken window. August rain still coming through. She let out a long breath.
Separate room.
Obviously.
3 knocks. Always. I need you to say it.
Fine.
That night, Nia slept in Kang Minho's house. Door locked, chair wedged under the handle, folders on the pillow beside her. And as the rain finally quieted outside, she pulled the blanket up and whispered to herself,
Just one night. That's it.
But here's the thing about just one night. It has a way of becoming everything. Nobody knew that yet. Not that night.
What I stole wasn't jewelry. I stole your fear.
The next evening, the Kang family's annual banquet. Nia said later she'd never forget the moment those gates opened. Every set of eyes inside turned to her at once, and then stopped. Nia Adeyemi walked through those gates in deep green and gold silk. Back straight, chin up, moving like she owned every street she'd ever walked. The handbook rippled with each step. The banquet hall went quiet. Forks lowered. Glasses paused midair.
Is that the woman Minho brought? Where did she come from?
The whispers spread like a wave. Nia heard every word, every single one, and she did not stop walking. Madame Kang rose from the head table. White-gloved hand lifting a glass, she moved toward Nia. Her heels clicked against the marble floor. Click, click, click. The room held its breath.
Welcome. You've come from far away.
She was smiling, but that smile, it was like ice over a winter lake. Beautiful and dangerous.
Our family has standards at these gatherings. The outfit is lovely. I do hope what's underneath matches.
Low laughter from the elders. Nia looked at Madame Kang. Didn't blink.
With respect, I was taught that a hanbok holds what's in your heart, not what's on your skin. My sincerity speaks louder than my complexion, ma'am.
The room went quiet again. Different kind of quiet this time. Madame Kang's eyebrow lifted. Minho stepped up beside Nia and raised his glass.
Shall we toast?
Midway through the banquet, Minho leaned close to Nia's ear.
Now, while Madame Kang is tied up with the elders.
Where's the safe?
Basement, behind the study stairs. 3rd drawer has the key.
Alone?
If we both disappear, it's obvious. I'll follow in 10 minutes.
Nia picked up her glass and moved through the banquet hall like she was simply stretching her legs. The silk swept the floor behind her. Nobody noticed. Every eye was on Madame Kang and Minho. Nia slipped into the corridor and found the stairs.
3rd drawer. 3rd drawer.
The stairs down were dark. Nia used her phone light to navigate. Old wood smell. Dust and paper. The floorboards creaked under her feet. Twice. The safe was behind the study wall. She found the key, got it open, and then her hand stopped. A thick ledger. No label on the cover. She opened it anyway. Numbers filled every page. Account numbers. Amounts. Dates. Names.
What is this?
Minho's footsteps on the stairs. He came down and saw her holding the ledger. His face went still.
You shouldn't have touched that.
Too late. I already saw it.
Put it back.
No, not until I understand what I'm looking at.
They stared at each other. Cramped basement study. One ledger between them. And then footsteps from above. Click, click, click. White gloves on marble.
Hide.
They pressed behind the bookshelf. Nia tucked the ledger into the folds of her handbook. Her heart was loud. Minho's breath was right there at her ear. Closer than she expected.
Someone's been down here.
Madame Kang's voice filled the basement. Nia held her breath. Minho's hand found her wrist. Tight. The footsteps stopped in front of the shelf, then turned. Click, click, fading away. They both exhaled at the same time. Nia looked down. He was still holding her wrist.
Your hand.
He let go. Slowly, Nia pulled the ledger from her handbook and held it out.
Start talking.
Minho took it, stared at the cover. Something moved through his face, something that had been locked down for a very long time.
Go back up. Finish the banquet. Act like nothing happened.
And then?
I've already thought about what comes next.
Nia paused on the stairs and looked back. Minho stood in the dark, staring at that ledger, his back to her. And girl, that back. Same back she'd seen through the steam. Same shoulders. Same weight on them. Like something heavy had never left. She walked back into that banquet hall and came face to face with Madame Kang. The older woman's eyes dropped to Nia's handbook. Nia spoke first.
What I stole wasn't jewelry. I stole your fear.
The room froze. Every elder turned. Madame Kang's lips trembled just barely. That banquet ended quieter than it began. Much, much quieter.
My sincerity is more transparent than my skin color.
After the banquet, guests trickled out. The old house settled into quiet. Nia stepped outside in her handbook, into the rear courtyard. August night air moving through the silk. Crickets somewhere in this Seoul backyard, which felt impossible and right at the same time. Minho was under the eaves, sleeves rolled up. She'd never seen him like that before.
Did it end okay?
When she goes quiet, that's when it's more dangerous.
I know that type. We had women like that back in Lagos.
Minho looked at her, started to say something, stopped.
You did well tonight.
You said that yesterday.
Yesterday was a test. Tonight I mean it.
Nia laughed. For the first time since she'd walked through that door, she actually laughed. Minho saw it and looked away. Fast. That's when Nia's eyes landed on his forearm. Sleeve rolled back. The inside of his wrist. Old scars. Thin lines. More than one. Her smile faded.
Those marks.
Don't.
He pulled his sleeve down. Quick! Nia let it go. She didn't push. Lagos had taught her that. Some people aren't ready to be asked. You just stay near them. They stood side by side in that courtyard. Nothing between them but cricket sounds and night air. The silence wasn't awkward. Somehow it was warm. That was strange. A good kind of strange.
This man is hurting.
Then something on the other side of the wall. Not wind. Minho's body went rigid before Nia even registered the sound.
Go inside.
What is that?
Right now, Nia.
Too late. Two shadows cleared the courtyard wall. Madam Kang's people. Minho stepped in front of Nia. Old Korean courtyard. Wooden pillars. Low eaves. Stone jars lined along the wall. Minho knew every inch of this place. He'd grown up here. He used the pillars to draw the first man in. Used the stone jars to cut off the second. Fast. Quiet. No wasted movement. Nia did not stand still. She grabbed a broom from under the eaves. Third man coming from behind, she dropped low. Lagos Market, at 22 years old, had taught her body things her brain didn't even have words for.
Behind you.
I know.
Back to back.
전체 대본을 선택하신 후 성우
Moonlight coming down on both of them. When Minho blocked, Nia slipped away. When Nia stumbled, Minho steadied her. Like they'd been doing this for years. Like their bodies already knew each other. The last man hit the ground. They were still standing back to back, both breathing hard. The moon was quiet.
Is it over?
It's over.
A piece of paper had fallen from one of the men. Minho picked it up, opened it. His face went tight. Nia leaned over his shoulder. Numbers. Dense and deliberate. The second fragment of the double ledger.
Finally.
Minho folded the paper into his shirt. Nia smoothed out her handbook. They looked at each other, moonlight between them.
Those scars. I'm not asking. I have them too. Mine are just in places you can't see.
Minho looked at her. Really looked. Longer than usual. And his eyes, they were different. For the first time since she'd met him, they weren't cold.
Go get some sleep.
3 knocks.
I remember.
Nia went inside. Minho stayed in the courtyard alone. He looked up at the moon. His back to the empty yard, that phoenix tattoo beneath his shirt. Those old scars beneath that. No one watching. And for the first time, his shoulders dropped. The weight of them just slightly let go. In the side room, Nia lay awake for a long time, staring at the ceiling. Turning over, finally, she pulled the blanket tight and whispered.
I said one night.
Outside, the crickets kept going. Okay, let's pause here for a second. Because Kang Minho, this man is a lot, isn't he? All that cold precision on the outside. And underneath it, wounds that never healed right. And Nia? Girl did not come here to catch feelings. She learned too early how to keep fear off her face. Two people carrying things they don't talk about, standing back to back under the moonlight. If that's not more than a contract, then I don't know what is.
What I stole wasn't jewelry. I stole your fear.
3 days later, the official Kang family dinner. This wasn't a banquet, this was the full assembly. Every elder in one room. And Chairman Kang was flying back from overseas. The moment Minho heard that, something in his face locked down tighter than before. Nia wore a different outfit this time. Still a hanbok, but different. She'd been up all night altering it herself. The deep green silk, now with Nigerian adinkra. Embroidery stitched along the collar and cuffs. Gold thread tracing Asante patterns across Korean lines. Minho saw her and said nothing.
You did that yourself?
All night. Say what you're thinking.
It suits you.
3 words. And somehow Nia's ears went warm. She didn't even notice. The dining hall opened. Elders took their seats. Chairman Kang Junbae, 68. Quiet Power sat at the far end of the head table. He didn't say much, but his silence was different from Madam Kang's cold. Heavier, like it held something. Nia sat beside Minho. Stares from every direction. Murmuring started. Nia sat straight, lifted her glass, and did not shake.
Minho, is this woman truly your fiancée?
Yes, I was planning to introduce her formally soon.
Which family?
The Adeyemi family, from Lagos, Nigeria.
The elders exchanged looks. Nia set her glass down and looked straight ahead. Lagos had taught her that. The moment you drop your eyes, you lose.
Long way to come.
First words from Chairman Kang. Low and steady. Nia turned toward him.
Seoul became my second home.
Chairman Kang studied her face. Long. Then nodded. Once. Just once. Midway through dinner, Madam Kang stood. White gloves. Wine glass. Moving toward Nia with those deliberate heels. Click. Click. The room stilled.
There's something I need to address at this table.
Her eyes found Nia.
3 days ago, something valuable went missing from our basement study. I think everyone here can guess who was present that evening.
The room turned to ice. Every elder's gaze landed on Nia. Minho started to rise. Nia's hand caught his arm.
Let me handle this.
Nia stood. The whole dining hall watching. Madam Kang smiled cold and certain. That smile didn't finish forming. Nia's hand disappeared into the folds of her hanbok. And then a folded paper came out. It opened onto the table with a sound that cut through the room. Every elder leaned forward.
What I stole wasn't jewelry. I stole your fear.
Madam Kang's smile vanished. The elders were reading. Account numbers. Figures. Dates. Names. The dining hall started buzzing.
Where did that come from?
Mother, sit down.
Quiet voice. And it pressed down on that entire room like a hand. Madam Kang signaled. The private security stationed at the door began to move. Minho was on his feet, standing between them and Nia.
Nia, step back.
I'm staying right here.
This part is mine to handle.
Minho held the line. 6 security, 1 man. The elders were in an uproar. Chairman Kang sat still and watched it all without moving. While he held them, Nia moved. Toward the candelabra at the end of the table. The paper copy in her hand. Madam Kang saw it.
Take that from her.
One guard broke toward Nia, but she was already at the candle. The paper touched the flame. Slow curl. The edge is caught.
You're free now, Minho.
The room froze. Smoke rising. Madam Kang's hands trembled. The white-gloved fingers released the wine glass. It fell. The sound it made hitting the floor was the loudest thing in the room. But the real evidence was already somewhere else. Nia caught Minho's eyes and blinked once. He understood immediately.
She's something else.
The dinner didn't end. It shattered. Elders raising voices, closing in on Madame Kang from every side. She stood in the middle of it, looking, for the very first time, like a woman who was alone. Minho and Nia slipped out. The corridor was quiet. They walked side by side without speaking. On the staircase, Nia stopped.
Where's the real evidence?
Somewhere safe.
You can tell me. We went back to back in a courtyard together. I think I've earned it.
Minho looked at her. Halfway down the staircase. Moonlight through the window.
My graduate student. He's releasing it tomorrow morning.
So tonight's the last night in this house. I'm not sad about it. It's just it feels longer than it was. I said one night.
Minho gripped the railing. Almost said something. Twice. Third time he opened his mouth.
Thank you.
2 words. And Nia's eyes, they shifted. She didn't even notice it happen.
I know who betrayed me.
Later that night, the house settled. Nia was in the side room packing. Small rolling suitcase. Folders. 1 spool of gold thread left over from her all-night sewing. That was everything. 3 knocks at the door.
Come in.
Minho walked in with his shirt untucked. She had never seen him untucked. He had his phone in his hand.
I know who betrayed me.
Who?
Manager Park. 10 years.
His voice was low. And underneath that low was something that wasn't anger. It was deeper than anger. It was the sound of a person who knows exactly what betrayal costs.
The original ledger?
He took it. I need to get to it before he hands it to my mother.
Right now?
Right now.
They left the house. Seoul at night. August heat still sitting heavy on the streets. Minho walked ahead. Nia, now in jeans and a white tee, caught up to his stride.
You know where he is?
Jongno, an office seat my mother set up for him.
How long has she had him?
Probably from the beginning.
Nia watched his profile under the streetlights. Jaw set. Tight. 10 years is a long time. She knew that.
You okay?
I have to be.
He's not okay.
Outside the office tell, Minho looked up at the building. 1 lit window. 7th floor.
Wait here.
No.
It could get complicated.
I slept in a house where the window got blown out on my first night. Complicated and I are already acquainted.
He looked at her for a long moment, then exhaled.
Stairs, not the elevator.
Obviously.
They took the emergency stairwell. Quiet feet on concrete. 7th floor corridor, silent. Minho stopped outside the door and listened. A phone call bleeding through from inside.
Yes, ma'am. I have the ledger. Tomorrow morning, yes. Understood.
Minho's eyes went flat. Nia's hand found his arm. Light touch.
Stay calm.
I know.
The door opened. Manager Park turned and saw Minho. Froze. Mid-50s. Eyes immediately unsteady.
Professor, how did you find...
The ledger.
I don't know what your...
Manager Park, 10 years.
Those 2 words. Manager Park's shoulders came down. Minho didn't say anything else. He didn't need to. 10 years was the whole sentence. The drawer opened. The thick ledger came out. Minho took it. Didn't open it. Just held it against his chest.
I didn't have a choice, Professor.
I know.
Can you forgive me?
That's not my call to make.
He turned. Nia was in the hallway. Minho held the ledger out to her.
Hold this.
Me?
Safest place I know.
Nia took it, pressed it to her chest. It was heavier than she expected. Not just paper. 10 years of one man's life, right there in her arms. Back on the street. Walking. Minho stopped at a convenience store at the end of an alley.
What do you want to drink?
Right now?
Are you thirsty or not?
I'm thirsty.
They sat in plastic chairs outside the convenience store, canned drinks in hand. Seoul moved past them. Taxi horns. Music somewhere down the block. That thick summer night air.
When it all comes out tomorrow, what happens?
My mother steps down from the family. My father, I think that's what he's wanted for a long time.
Your father?
Did you see his face at dinner? He didn't try to stop any of it.
Nia thought about Chairman Kang. The way he sat still through everything. That look in his eyes, somewhere between resignation and relief.
And you? When it's over, what do you do?
Teach. Same as before.
Is that what you actually want? You don't have to answer. I'm just asking.
Minho stared at his drink. Long time. Then quietly,
I want to build. Restore old things. Buildings that still have something worth saving.
it sounded like the first time he'd said it out loud. Nia turned to look at him.
That's basically what I do.
I know.
Quiet again. Seoul kept moving. The cans went warm in their hands. That night stretched long, and somehow felt short. Both things at once.
I don't want tomorrow to come.
But it came. The way it always does.
It's time to take the mask off this house.
Next morning, Seoul sky, clear and wide, like the night had washed something away. Minho's graduate student Junho arrived at the house at 10 a.m. 26 years old. Steady eyes. He had the look of someone Minho had shaped.
Professor, everything's ready.
Good work.
Is that Nia?
Yes.
I didn't know there was anyone who could make you look like that.
Mind your business.
Nia heard that from the end of the hallway. Like that. She tilted her head. What expression exactly? She genuinely had no idea. The Kang family conference room. Elders assembled. Chairman Kang took his seat. Madam Kang moved to take the head, stopped by one look from her husband. She sat beside him instead. Minho stood at the front. Hunyo connected the laptop. The screen opened. Architectural blueprints. The Kang family estate. But these blueprints were different. Double structures marked in red. Hidden rooms. False floors. Spaces inside the walls. And tracing through all of it, the path money had moved through this house.
What is that?
Those rooms, do they actually exist?
Yes. I've known about them since I was a child.
The room stirred. Madam Kang went pale.
Minho, stop.
Mother.
I said stop.
It's time to take the mask off this house.
Quiet voice. The whole room stopped anyway. Chairman Kang closed his eyes. Held them shut. Then opened them.
Continue, Minho.
Madam Kang looked at her husband. He didn't look back. He was watching his son. Nia stepped forward, took her place beside Minho, ledger in hand. Every eye in the room tracked her.
The figures in this ledger match the movement paths on these blueprints exactly. Dates, amounts, routes, all of it lines up.
And how would you know that?
I studied architecture. Buildings don't lie.
Nia walked to the screen, traced the lines with her finger. Precise. Calm. Hands that had spent years over hundreds of blueprints in Lagos and Seoul. They knew what they were doing.
From this space to this one, this date, this amount. The ledger confirms it. The blueprints confirm it. The walls of this house confirm it.
The elders looked at each other. The murmuring stopped. Different kind of silence now, the kind that settles when something can no longer be argued.
You're going to take her word over mine? You don't even know where she came from.
Madam Kang, blueprints don't lie.
Madam Kang rose to her feet. Her legs were unsteady. The white-gloved hand found the edge of the table. The conference room door opened. 2 people with prosecutor badges. Junyo had filed the complaint the night before, processed by morning. The elders stood. Madam Kang went still.
Madam Kang Yoon-jong, we need you to come with us.
Madam Kang looked at Minho. Everything in that look, anger, shock, and buried beneath all of it. Something Nia caught. Grief. The kind that comes from going too far for too long in the name of something you told yourself was worth it.
Minho.
Yes.
Your mother was wrong.
Minho said nothing. Madam Kang pulled off her white gloves, set them on the table. Then she followed the prosecutors out. Click, click, click. Down the hallway. Gone. The room emptied. Chairman Kang stood. Crossed the room. Father and son, face to face.
You did well. It was hard, wasn't it?
No answer. Just the smallest movement in Minho's jaw. Nia saw it. She moved to his side. Close enough that their shoulders touched. Minho fixed his eyes forward. The face of someone trying very hard not to let their eyes go red.
It's done. It's finally done.
The conference room emptied out. Just Minho and Nia left. Junyo had packed up and gone. The door clicked shut. Quiet. Minho went to the window. Seoul sky outside. Clear. He stood there a long time. Nia stayed behind him and waited. Didn't say a word. Just stayed.
It's over.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really.
Don't thank me yet, you still owe me that project approval.
Minho turned around. Nia was smiling. And that smile, it moved through the whole room. Something at the corner of Minho's mouth lifted. Not a small thing this time. An actual, real, full smile. First one she'd ever seen from him. Right here in this house in front of her.
I could give you something better than approval rights.
Like what?
This house. The restoration project. Work on it with me.
Nia looked at him. Really looked. Sunlight coming through the window, filling the space between them.
I have one condition.
Name it.
3 knocks, always.
Minho laughed. Out loud. For the first time. The sound of it filled the whole room. Nia laughed too. Both of them, together, in Seoul sunlight. There are people who wear masks their whole lives. To look strong. To pretend they're not in pain. To hold on to something they're afraid to lose. And here's the thing about masks: wear one long enough, and it starts to feel like your real face. That's what this story is about. And here's how it ends. 1 year later, summer came back to Seoul. The Kang estate had changed. The high walls were lower now. The heavy front gates stayed open during the day. Children's voices moved through the courtyard. That started when the restoration project did. A small sign had been mounted at the entrance. Clean, simple, 2 names side by side. Kang Minho, Nia Adeyemi. Nia had blueprints spread across the table. The converted side room their studio now. Big windows, Seoul sky filling the frame. On the corner of the desk, a spool of gold thread. Left over from that one night she stayed up sewing. She'd never thrown it away. 3 knocks.
Come in.
Minho. 2 coffees. Top button of his shirt open. Just one. Small change. She noticed immediately.
I revised the 3rd floor window drawings.
Can I see?
I brought them so we could look together.
Side by side at the table, shoulders touching. He pointed to a line. She leaned in to look. Coffee smell in the room.
This section you're keeping the original structure?
Right. Not erasing the old things. Working with them.
Is he talking about the building or something else?
Around that time, an email came from Paris. Nia's collection had been invited to an international design fair. The hanbok pieces, deep green and gold, with the asante embroidery. Korean and Nigerian lines crossing each other. The collection had one title, 2 homes. Nia stared at that email for a while, then smiled. Just her and the screen and the Seoul sunlight coming through the window.
When do you go to Paris?
Next month. Want to come? I'm joking.
You don't have to be.
Nia looked at him. He was looking at the blueprints. His ear was red. She tried not to laugh. It came out anyway.
For real?
I want to see the buildings.
The Paris buildings?
Among other things.
Among other things. Nia turned that over in her mind for the rest of the day. Alone in the studio that night. Blueprints in front of her. Seoul night sky outside. The Han River. Sunset. The water burning orange and pink. Two people standing side by side on the bank. Minho had come first. Nia found him there. Same August as a year ago. Everything different. She stood beside him. No words needed. Just the sound of the water. A boat passed in the distance. Its wake reached the bank.
Do you remember the men who came through the window, first night?
How could I forget?
I'm glad you didn't run.
My legs stopped working.
Still.
The river moved. The sunset deepened. Minho's hand came to rest beside hers. Close! Almost touching. Nia looked down at it. And then she reached over and took it. He went still. 2 seconds. Then his hand closed around hers. They stood there looking at the river. Seoul's sun making its last move across the sky. That light landed on both of them the same way. No exceptions. Not for skin, not for where they came from, not for the things they'd carried.
Seoul's sun doesn't play favorites.
Never did.
Across the bank, Madame Kang was walking. No white gloves. Just her hands. She saw them. Looked at the river instead. Stayed there a while. And whatever was in her eyes for the first time, it wasn't anger. The title rises. Seoul's Sun City of Masks. Kang Minho and Nia Adeyemi. Their story ends here. It started the night a window shattered. It ended at sunset on the Han River. One night became a year. A year became a second home. And if this story built something small inside you good, that's exactly what it was meant to do.